Hi, my name is Lucia Veracruz from allformoms.com, where I help moms overcome emotional and binge eating. And in today's training, I'm going to talk about how to stop cravings with these 4 simple steps. So step number 1 is dieting. Dieting is the number 1 cause of cravings. When we restrict certain types of food like carbohydrates or fats or proteins, that is exactly what we are going to crave. We always want, think and obsess about what we cannot have. And despite the fact that diets fail 95% of the time, we continue looking at the latest trends, hoping that this time we will get the results that we want. But diets don't work long term because they are not sustainable. So really, we really need to let go of this need to restrict certain types of food. And once we satisfy our desires after years of dieting, then we will no longer have cravings for them. Which brings us to step number 2, which is changing our habits. If you are in a habit of eating healthy foods and drinking lots of water, then that is exactly what we are going to crave. However, if we are in a habit of eating junk food or fast food and drinking soft drinks, then that is what we are going to crave. And so if we want to change our unhealthy habits into something that is in alignment with what we want to achieve, that will require a bit of effort, because we'll be going from driving through a drive-through to having to go and buy groceries and cook healthy meals. So simply by recognizing that by changing our habits, we will be able to change our cravings, we can then make a conscious effort to do so. Which brings us to step number 3, which is increasing nutrients in our meals and drinking more water. Often when we are dehydrated, we can confuse thirst signals with being hungry. However, this wouldn't apply if we haven't eaten all day or we haven't eaten for several hours. It is quite normal to have cravings or hunger cues after the food that we have eaten hours ago has been digested. What is not normal is to have cravings after eating a satisfying meal or cravings for sweets after we just had a satisfying treat. And so once we are sure that the cravings have nothing to do with hunger, it is a good practice to perhaps have a glass of water to see if that is all we needed. Now, before we dive into the nutrients, it's important to understand that our absorption rate of the nutrients can be reduced by almost 50% simply by being stressed or by exercising more than an hour a day or by exercising on an empty stomach and by not slowing down. I remember when I used to binge eat and do endless hours of exercising, I didn't think I was stressed. However, I was so tense all the time because I was in survival mode. And by doing an insane amount of exercises to try and make up for all the extra food that we eat, and all we do is increase the stress hormone cortisol in our system, which then reduces our ability to absorb the nutrients properly. And so when our body is low on nutrients like vitamins, minerals and healthy fatty acids, we increase the ratio of the bad bacteria in our gut, which feeds on saturated fats, sugars and salty foods. And in return, we get more higher cravings for those unhealthy options. On the other hand, if we increase the nutrients in our diet, we fill the good bacteria in our gut, and then we will crave more of the healthy things. And so the ratio of the good and bad bacteria also affects our immune system, which is closely linked with lots of diseases. And that is why we rarely feel satisfied when we eat foods that are low on nutrients, and we are more likely to overeat. Now, this doesn't mean that unhealthy foods are forbidden or that we should never have them. It just means that we really need to add more nutrients into our diet and nourish our body to reduce those cravings. And on occasion, if those cravings still arise, just treat ourselves with those less healthier options. So it is important to be aware of this in order to help us make better choices and to really nourish, respect and honor our body. And lastly, let's talk about step number 4, which is managing our emotions in order to reduce the cravings. And we do this by being present and curious about what feelings arise. But often when we are disconnected and functioning in autopilot, we have a hard time recognizing what those emotions are. But the most common emotion that is linked with cravings and overeating is the feeling of tiredness. When we are tired due to lack of sleep, lack of nutrients, or because we are really unfit, we get these cravings for sugar or coffee or other certain types of foods to help us get through the day. However, the same as we get a quick high from eating these foods, we also get a very quick low, which in return makes us crave more of these types of foods like the sugar and the coffee, and it just leads to overeating and this never-ending cycle of big highs and big lows. When we use food to manage our emotions, we experience this momentary feeling of pleasure until we start feeling guilty because we ate even though we were not hungry. So perhaps it would be a good idea to replace that feeling of pleasure with doing activities that we enjoy, perhaps with the kids or by ourselves, whatever it is, as long as we increase the positive activities in order to replace the need to overeat. And if you need more help managing your cravings, you can click on a link below where I have prepared a free training video for you to help you achieve balance in your life and overcome this battle with food. After that training video, you will be also able to schedule a call with me where we can talk about your current situation and what is it that you would like to achieve, and if I can help you get there. So if you like this video, hit the like button, or you can subscribe to my channel if you want more helpful tips on how to overcome emotional and binge eating. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more training videos on how to overcome emotional eating and achieve balance forever.